So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Boris Johnson's speech to the CBI, which, yeah, it's not great. It's very rambly, and I'm an expert on rambling. Trust me. So we're going to watch this fairly long clip, 2 minutes, and we're going to talk about a couple other things. But this is wild. This honestly, like the guy lost his place, so he starts talking about. You'll figure it out.
Yesterday, I went, as we all must, to Peppa Pig World. I don't know if you've been to Peppa Pig World. Who's been to? Hands up anyone who's been to Peppa Pig World. Not enough. I was a bit hazy what I would find at Peppa Pig World, but I loved it. And Peppa Pig World is very much my kind of place. But the real lesson for me going to Peppa Pig World, and I'm surprised you haven't been there, was about the power of UK creativity. Who would have believed, Tony, that a pig that looks like a hairdryer, or possibly a sort of Picasso-like hairdryer, a pig that was rejected by the BBC, would now be exported to 180 countries with theme parks.
So you can see he's looking through the papers, right? Because he's lost his place completely. So he's talking about Peppa Pig World,
both in America and in China, as well as in the New Forest. And so with safer streets, with great local schools, with fantastic broadband.
So he's talking about Peppa Pig World, then he tries to transition into talking about safer streets and things like that, and he's completely lost his place.
Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. People will have the confidence to stay nearer the place they grew up. We are blessed not just with capital markets and the world's best universities and...
People are more likely to stay where they grew up, you know, despite the fact that you've shortchanged the North, which I'll talk about at some point, through the train lines. You haven't actually done what you promised to, levelling up. So people can't actually stay where they grew up because there's a lack of opportunities. I know firsthand there's a lack of opportunities where I live, and I'm not willing to commute for over an hour to get to a job. Like, that's not going to happen. So, you know, this point he's making about people being able to stay where they grew up is a load of rubbish.
Incredible pools of liquidity in London, and all the right time zone and the right language and opportunity across the whole country. We're also blessed with the amazing inventive power and range of British business, and that, above all, is what fills me with confidence. Members of the CBI.
I mean, look at the guy's face, man. He's not, you know, I mean, he's flustered. He's flustered.
Confidence, members of the CBI, for the days ahead. Thank you very much for your kind attention this morning. Thank you.
That's how he ended his speech. He compared himself to Moses, and you know, the only way you could argue that the countries being the north of the country is being leveled out with the south is by making the point that the south is being destabilized because of Boris Johnson's Brexit deal. Like, mate, like honestly, I don't know what the hell like happened there. He just completely had a meltdown. Like, part of me feels sorry for him, despite the fact that he's an absolute train wreck. But you can tell he completely loses his place, talks about Peppa Pig World, and doesn't find it again.
In London and all the right time zone and the right language.
He's lost his place completely. He's not looking down at his notes to see what he's meant to be talking about. He had to wrap up the speech because he got completely lost. That's my interpretation of it.
Across the whole country. We're also.
And if you actually look at some of the this bit here.
Broadband.
You know, that bit there was comical, but you can see that the people in Downing Street are getting quite antsy. You know, business was really looking forward to leadership today, and it was shambolic, talking about the speech at the CBI. This is a Downing Street source. They added there was a lot of concern inside the building about Mr Johnson. Cabinet needs to wake up and demand serious changes, otherwise it will keep getting worse. If they don't insist, he just won't do anything about it. A Downing Street spokesperson pointed out that CBI head Tony Danker had welcomed the Prime Minister's words on the private sector working with the government. So a spokesperson is saying, oh no, Tony Danker, the head of the CBI, is happy with what was said. But you've got a Downing Street source saying this was a train wreck. We don't know who the source is. It could be a senior person. It might not be. But given Boris Johnson's had an absolute stinker over the last couple of weeks, with him threatening to sue the New European over publishing an alleged story about him having buyer's remorse with his wife, he's not had a good few weeks. The Owen Patterson stuff as well. A lot of things that I haven't had the chance to cover. But, this one's more of a viewer's request, to be honest. But you can see that the man loses his place completely and has to wrap up his speech rapidly. This is worse than, a drunk uni student trying to do a presentation. He's a goddamn prime minister. Like, what are you doing, bruv? Like, and the thing is, in the good times, people don't mind a populist bomb thrower who's gonna, blame people for some of society's problems and promise to fix things. But in a country where business is struggling a lot due to supply chain issues, financial services and other services leaving, a massive employment shortage, businesses are concerned, people are concerned, and this is the guy who famously said F business. So he doesn't really foster confidence, does he? Anyways, the question is Boris Johnson okay? Is he finally kind of publicly out of his depth there? Because he doesn't, I don't think he really wants to be up on stage like this. He's clearly not ready for his speech. He would rather be probably at Peppa Pig World with his son and maybe his wife, his wife, which he might have buyer's remorse with. I don't know. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.